bonus round is back from GDC with industry analyst Michael Pachter, Game Informer editor-in-chief Andy McNamara, and Giant Bomb editor-in-chief Jeff Gersman discussing the next generation console war. What strategies can we expect from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo as we prepare for new consoles this fall?
I think that you're going to get a subsidy. And if you add broadband to get an next Xbox, we'll give it to you for $100.
Plus, Pachter explains his controversial South by Southwest presentation and more. The bonus round starts right now. Hey, welcome back to the bonus round from GDC this month in San Francisco with Michael, Andy, and Jeff. Guys, this is a console war, as we like to say, a battle between three titans.
Finally.
Michael, you were recently at South by Southwest, made your predictions about how you think the next battle is going to be waged.
Thank you for that tweet, by the way.
Hey, you speak to the public.
I had 14 NeoGAF threads going about 5 minutes later about what an asshole I am.
Hey,
thank you very much.
Hey, I was there to promote you. That's my job.
Those ones are going all the time, though, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah,
are these
could
new
be.
ones on top
Could
of
be,
that?
yeah,
or-
could have
Well,
been,
there's,
could have
people love the game of guessing, and as you said, in some ways it is a little silly because, we don't know a ton about certainly what Microsoft is doing yet. But Jeff, let me start with you. When you look at, the three players and how they ended up in this generation with, the Wii was a big, mainstream success. Xbox 360 built a lot. PlayStation suffered a little. How do you think it's going to fare for the next gen? Let's first talk about the Wii U, I guess, which is, I think now that we're seeing, a lot of games being announced.
Yeah.
Battlefield not doing a Wii U version. A lot of games. On the third-party side, it almost seems like it's game over for Nintendo already.
It really does. I mean, Nintendo hasn't really enjoyed terrific third-party support since the N64, GameCube, kinda.
GameCube, yes.
And every generation they come out and say, this time, guys, we got this. We got all these third-party games. Look at all these guys up on stage.
Right.
Unprecedented partnerships are getting announced. And then that's all gone as soon as the sales numbers come in. And,
Right.
everyone realizes, everyone just buys Nintendo consoles, apparently, to play Nintendo games. So I can't blame them.
And the sales, for Wii, we're building. I mean, we look at some of the numbers. I mean, we've seen them. I mean, it's a troubling time for Wii U. So, do they sort of continue to be in the conversation? Do we think about or is it really a battle between Xbox and PlayStation?
Like, let's face it, if we're talking about next generation consoles, just from the internals of that thing, it doesn't qualify.
Right.
It doesn't qualify.
That's it. Let's just be real about it here.
No, come on. It's a next generation for them.
It totally is. You're absolutely right.
But it feels like it's being lapped.
They
by some
can't
of the
even
games
get
we're
the
seeing now.
It doesn't feel like it's
now.
being lapped. It is being lapped.
It's not always about the graphics, though, Andy. Nintendo will tell you it's about that incredible gameplay.
But I mean, they
where
don't
are
even
those
have
games?
They don't,
Like,
even
what is
have, they don't have services up to the ones we were just making fun of
Right.
Microsoft for.
Yeah, I mean, so take Nintendo out of the equation, then we look at Sony,
I think
Microsoft.
Nintendo's already done that for you. But
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh,
Because you
All
tweeted
right.
a while ago the retail thing.
Yes,
They
why
had-
Wii U,
like,
right?
Why Wii U? It's like, oh no, maybe they shouldn't have named it that. Like maybe that would have helped.
Well, that's why I'm sure Nintendo, there will have to be a strategy shift that we
You
will
heard
see
that
from them at some
GTA is
point.
going to be GTA U instead of GTA 5. Okay.
Especially-
They like that.
Matt has been working on this
You.
material for weeks.
You. Okay, sorry.
So, Michael, let me ask you. You at South by Southwest, you said that you think Sony and Microsoft are both going to, what was it, between 80 and
85, 95.
85 to 95 million units for both boxes, but you think ultimately Microsoft will come out on top. Why do you believe that?
All right, the unit number, I just threw it on a slide because it was at South by Southwest and I had to.
Pick some number.
Well, no, I mean, I
He's an
would.
analyst.
Yeah, exactly.
I would
Those
prefer-
reports you send out
Yeah,
every morning. It's
I
like-
would prefer to put an estimate out when I know the price,
Right.
and I know the feature set.
But that
'cause
wouldn't
kind-
stop Michael Pachter from
No,
estimating.
but I
right?
did it for, I'm at South by South. I tried to get South by Southwest to postpone the show
Right,
for a few months until
Yes.
after we knew, but they wouldn't go
All right,
for that. But no, the truth is that the real way I did this, to date, Microsoft and Sony have each sold about 75 million boxes,
Okay.
and Nintendo sold about 100 million Wii's, excuse me. So combined about 250 million. I think the next cycle is smaller.
Right.
Because I think there is a shift of gaming for the very casual, the non-traditional, to mobile and social, tablet. So I think the overall market's going to be 210 to 230 million, 240 million, but smaller.
Right.
And I just think Nintendo drops from 100 million down to something closer to 40, and possibly lower if they don't get third-party support. If the Wii U becomes a box just to play Nintendo games, it might be 30. I mean, it could
Right.
be much smaller. And I think Xbox Next and PS4 pick up the slack.
Okay.
So I just kind of made numbers that added up to about 230 million, so it's down slightly with the other two guys gaining a lot of share,
Right.
Nintendo losing share. The reason I think Microsoft wins, and one or six of those NeoGAF threads was very critical of this concept. I think that you're going to get a subsidy. So I think the price for the next Xbox is going to be subsidized either by a cable TV company or an
Xbox
internet
Live
service
subscription or
or an
something?
internet service provider. No, not by Microsoft.
Okay.
So I think ISPs have a reason. If you add broadband to get a next Xbox, we'll give it to you for $100.
Yeah.
If you subscribe to our cable TV and sign up for a couple of years, we'll give you a next Xbox for $100. That's a gigantic advantage until Sony picks up the slack and does the same kind of thing.
Yep.
And that's why I think TV is a killer app.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see Xbox Live with tiered pricing. So if you get TV service, you pay a little more because you get rid of your cable box. If you use Skype, they'll give you unlimited Skype calling to any place, even phones, for another few bucks. And I think that's a really interesting thing. It's going to get kids to say to their parents, hey, get the Xbox because it's $100 and we can talk to grandma and we get cable TV and it's just this, I really want to play it. So I think they win based on that. And Sony can level the playing field. Sony absolutely has the capability to catch up. Their box is plenty powerful.
Right.
But I think they win, and I think that you're going to see a much more accelerated sell-through of next generation boxes. First with Microsoft from these ancillary services, next from Sony when they add them, and it's inevitable Sony will.
All right, guys, we'll hold that thought. We're going to be right back after this break.